like my tights and stuff.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
then
but it wasn't up before though.
what you do is you get it up higher like that. So give me the other book.
Let me see. We still behind the scenes. We was doing behind the scenes the first time, but
there you go.
That is much cozier.
Cozier is your word.
Yes, that's much cozier. Hopefully you guys can hear us now. The first time we're having technical I was talking to the screen. We was having technical difficulties.
Who are you talking to on the screen?
So I'm talking to the people that's getting on.
You can't even see the chat right now.
About? I can see what I need to see. Thank you very much.
Where you see the chat?
I do see that. I see who I'm talking
to.
Who
on?
The people that's on.
Exactly. Right that's now. What I said.
Oh man, it's
You can go back and watch when it freezes.
Can you guys hear us now? It keeps going on and off, y'all.
No. When it freezes,
we're not sure what's going. It's acting funny.
No,
I'm in the wrong thing. That's why.
What I'm trying to tell you. Chat.
You didn't try to tell me. You didn't say nothing.
No, that's what I said to you earlier when you tried to tell me something. Oh yeah, I can see one if I just click.
No, I didn't. No, I wasn't trying to. I knew what I was saying and doing at the time, sir. Bless them.
Stay safe.
Bless them with a sound. Moanings and groanings that cannot be understood. Hallelujah.
Corny.
That's fine.
Being extra.
I guess I must live in extra because you say that a lot.
Being extra. Hey, Davanya.
Hey, Davanya. We've been having technical difficulties tonight for whatever reason.
Anissa, how you doing?
Hey, Anissa. Yeah, but we've been having technical difficulties, so hopefully everybody can hear me.
I'm sorry, I just had
and hear the apostle right now. As I'm extra important to him.
You are. I was about to ask you, are you gonna never mind, I was trying to figure out a way to say it, but I ain't gonna do it now. I was gonna ask you about
does anybody else
the givers tomorrow? I was gonna try to figure out a way you say that.
Haha, you're being extra now.
I am. That is extra. You're right. You're right.
Okay, you're gonna start and tell the people.
I am. All right.
People on here, they're waiting for. Oh, thank you. It's been like this for. I'm about to take it out. No, you know what? That's so funny because
it's never been like this since.
I know.
No, the last week of October.
Was it the last week?
First week of November. You've had it up. You had it in for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, since October.
At least 4 or 5 weeks now, though. I think somewhere around.
Yeah, it's about time for it to come out.
Yeah, it's been about.
Thank you, though. Thank you, anyway. That's why I was laughing at first, like.
Yeah, at least about 4 or 5
It's fine.
Weeks. So let's get into this conversation. So,
let's get into it.
First we're gonna do our intro conversation because I'm not gonna spend a lot of time with the intro. So we always try to start with intro. Do you want to start with yours? You had something you want to say?
Intro? Hey, Jamalyn.
Yes, we have sound.
Yes, sound.
We got to switch the cameras up, as y'all can tell. We'll switch the laptop
for some reason. Yeah. Then at first it was disconnected or something. So
yeah,
hopefully it'll stay.
I'm not going here to talk about no 49 talk. I'm not going to do that.
No,
I'm done talking.
We're not about that.
anything with that, tomorrow is tomorrow, and
you gonna wear your hat tomorrow?
I don't know. I was debating about wearing my jersey tomorrow to church, but I think I don't want to do that because I kind of don't want folks to be distracted. Because if I wear a jersey, I think folks will be like, I just don't want it. I want the Lord to be glorified, and I don't want to be
glorifying and saying
vain. Now it was Super Bowl Sunday, and when we were in the Super Bowl, I'm going to wear it.
Okay.
There's no.
Okay, so go ahead and tell them what.
We were going to talk about, just for a moment, two things. So our intro pre-talk conversation is going to deal with, I'm not sure how many. Okay, so those that do not know, because people are watching from, my personal page or my YouTube page, some people don't know who Bishop Carlton Pearson is. Okay, now Carlton Pearson is, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but Carlton Pearson, Carlton Pearson, I'm sure anyone that's my age, if you are either like in that 39, 40 and above, right? If you're above that, and you grew up in church, you grew up to the sound of Carlton Pearson. Carlton Pearson, I would watch Carlton Pearson every Sunday. Every Sunday night, I, as a kid, would watch Carlton Pearson. It was just something about him. It was just, he was just different. And so grew up just watching him every Sunday night. And of course, when he, all that happened, that's not what we're here to talk about. But what we are here to talk about is the service. And so people I'm just doing that for a precursor because he passed away. And when he passed away, for the last 10 to 15 years, he's been kind of teaching a different kind of doctrine. Okay, so leave it like that. And so on the service, Mike Todd, if you don't know who Mike Todd is, again, pastor of Transformation Church, big church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Child, because mind you, so anyways, it froze up for a second. But Mike Todd is like family to Carlton Pearson, and so he emceed the service. And what he did was, Mike Todd's more of a new, he doesn't wear clergy collar, stuff like that. So he wore a clergy collar shirt, basically a shirt that's representation of the bishop's office, and he wore a shirt, wore collar, and he wore chain. And basically it was in honor of Bishop Carlton Pearson, because when Bishop Carlton Pearson, of course, was preaching in church, that is what he would wear. And that's kind of what we grew up on, seeing him wear that often. Okay. And Facebook, Instagram world and has been blowing up about him wearing this shirt and this chain. And this is no offense to anybody. I didn't know about this, so you just but everyone that has posted about that, and I don't care who you are, get a life. I'm sorry, like, get a real life. Like, to me, to spend time, like, we need to go back to wearing those bracelets. Like, what would Jesus do? Jesus is not in heaven like, Mike Todd is out of order, out of line, because he wore a bishop shirt. Like, we have to really take time and digress. Like, this is the kind of, I don't even want to use the word mess. It's messy. It's messy. Like, it's messy for people to get so upset. Exactly, Pastor Valentine. Good to see you, Pastor sir. Valentine. It is close. Exactly. Anybody can wear it. It's just, he did it to honor him, and people are going just off the wall. I mean, going nuts about a shirt and a collar. Like, I'm like, so like, those are the moments where I'm like appalled at the church.
I was about to say appalled, but I was like,
were you? I felt you in the Holy Ghost. It's called being married for so long. It's just like I said, people need to get a life. And I mean, these are preachers that are doing this. Like, and I think it's got to be rooted in either jealousy or envy towards him. I don't understand it. Like, that's a good word, boredom. The reason why my wife probably ain't talking much about it is because she ain't seen none of it. She stays on social media.
Just now. But
so
that's crazy.
Yeah, like it just. I mean, like I'm telling you, I'm thousands upon thousands. There's probably at least about 1 million like comments about this, over 1 million. Like just people going off the wall about him wearing this shirt.
Michael Todd.
And you know what? And honest to God,
people probably gonna know more about him. Just like, was he the one that did the spit thing?
Yes. Now,
so, I mean,
now he was drawing on that one, boy.
I don't remember what happened.
Somebody spit on me, dog. He spit on his hand. He spit on his hand and then wiped it on the bull face. Yo,
but that was
we
his brother
fighting,
or something, right?
I don't care.
He might have agreed to that beforehand.
Listen to me. That's disrespect. You're not going. I'm telling you right now, yo. I would
you ain't
be
Jesus, bro.
Swinging, yo. I don't care who it is. Jesus. I don't care. Okay. And listen, if Bishop Evans did that, Bishop Evans spit in his hand and wiped his face, he would never do that. He would never do that. But if he did that, I'm telling you, Lord is my witness, yo. He would have called it 2-piece, right straight up, yank. I'd have like, Bishop, what are you doing? I probably have lost it because of the spit. You know what I mean?
No, if you ain't Jesus, don't you dare.
So that happened to me one time in 6th grade.
What?
Somebody spit on me.
Oh no,
child. And this boy, I'm serious. I was a tiny kid, so this boy spit in my face because and I'm telling you right now, I lost all sanity.
I understand.
He was twice my size. Like I didn't care who you were. I'll fight you. I didn't really care. I fought people that was twice half. It didn't matter. You spit on me. That's such disrespect. I went there, yank.
Half people?
Well, child, I was going crazy. They had to pull everybody just separate us, but I was going nuts.
Twice or half, so you was beating up midgets.
Yes, the person is still alive. I was in 6th grade, so I couldn't. I wasn't killing nobody. I just went to. People. No, I wasn't beating them.
You
funny.
said twice and half, so you might.
That was just being an exaggeration. I did wrestle a midget one day though.
Oh, okay.
And that was probably one of the hardest matches.
I told you
I won, but it was
hard. I have one. Is that rude to say?
What a
Wait,
midget?
is midget? You're not supposed to say midget or dwarf or what is?
No. You can say midget, right?
Isn't
I think you're allowed to say midget.
We're not supposed, no,
you can't say retarded no more. You can't say retarded.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really understand.
You can't say
either,
retard or retarded. That's a slur. Sorry for all those if I offended if I said retarded. I apologize.
Yes, or midget.
No, midget is still legal, I think, in certain terms. Can you still say midget?
But is it rude?
What?
Like to say yo
about me wrestling a midget?
I mean, I don't think nobody says nothing about midget, but what? I mean some people might find it offensive.
What do you mean?
Like it still says connection lost. Damn.
I'm sorry.
Is it freezing on y'all? I don't know what's going on.
I think midget is not. What's PC mean again?
I think midget is not PC.
Right, little person may be politically correct. That's what I mean. That's right.
Okay, so little.
I thought midget is okay. Let me look it up on your phone.
Well, so yeah. I mean, we don't ever talk about that though, anyway. But
yeah, no, that's just a curious.
That is interesting.
We've gotten
I don't know if people say
conscious of all of that.
Dwarf.
We've gotten so conscious of all of that.
Because I guess that could be
is midget
but
PC.
It's not.
The one thing that's agreed upon, the word midget is considered. Okay, here we go. The one thing is agreed upon is the word midget is considered highly offensive to people with dwarfism. The term dwarf is acceptable.
That's what I said. Okay, I said
you
dwarf.
did say that. You did say that.
Like the 7 dwarfs.
I think the dwarf sounds.
Because
I think the word dwarf sounds worse.
Hi, little dwarf.
Hey, dwarf.
Yeah, I don't think that. Okay, let's stop. It does sound rude now.
That does sound rude. Dwarf sounds rude than midget.
So
that don't even make sense.
I think people just have too much time on their
hands.
I'm trying to go back to the shirt. I'm trying to get back to the shirt because that sounds kind of rude.
But sidebar though, this sidebar. I'm sorry, I'm getting.
I do have a little person though, and I think he reminds me of Tyrion Lannister, but he's like brown.
Tyrion Lannister, one of my favorite actors in the world.
Yes, I love him.
Whatever his real name is.
I know.
He's just Tyrion Lannister. He's a good actor. Period.
If you don't watch that show, then they're probably like
Game of Thrones. Tyrion Lannister, the little dwarf.
Yeah, he's in something else though. Out.
No, he's in what you call him. I thought you need to go see it. He's in
that's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the name. Gladiator.
No.
Napoleon.
No, he's not in either one.
I mean
Gladiator. Napoleon. No.
I know it's the movie that's out in the movie.
Oh my God, this is gonna annoy me.
Oh man,
Intellectually disabled took the place of intellectually disabled. That's what
does anybody know Tyrion in the movie he's in?
What's the movie right now with Viola Lewis? I can't even think right now. We saw all of them. Mockingbird, Killing of a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah.
Hunger Games. That's what it is. There we go. Never mind. You ain't got time.
We gotta watch it.
Tyrion Lannister's in Hunger Games.
We want to see that. Did anybody see that? Okay. So with the shirt, yeah, that's just like you got too much time on your hands. But I mean, people are just people. Like regardless, like everybody, it's like no matter what, it's always something to pick on, which seems like it's always just something like a distraction. Like, what can we do this week to distract people? It's like, who cares?
Yeah, no.
Really, who cares? It's not giving, like, you putting all that time in, it's not giving you nothing.
Nothing.
You just mad and upset because what?
People just want to pick away at him too, though.
Yeah.
You know?
But who can, I mean, okay. So our conversation that we got on here that was our pre-talk. I was going to say, wait, this is a sidebar because this is what I was going to say when I was saying, I was going to say, does anybody else race their, like if you and your spouse, or if it's a friend, whichever, if y'all both go somewhere and y'all both have to go back to the same place, do y'all race? Because he always try to beat me back to the house. Like if we go somewhere together and we both drive our cars, he'll race to try to get here before I do and try to sit in the driveway and act like he's been there for like 30 minutes before I get there. But today I saw you just pulling in today.
Okay, so you being extra. That's number one.
No, but I really did want to know, does anybody else do that?
Sometimes I do that, but funny. I didn't do that today.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't trying to race you today. That's why I was funny. That wasn't even in my thoughts.
No, but I know.
Honestly, I was trying to let you leave before me.
Sometimes. I didn't know where you went, but I'm just saying I wonder if anybody else does that.
I ain't going to rest where you thought I was going. Home.
I didn't think you was going anywhere else, but I'm just saying.
I didn't know where you went.
If I didn't pull around the corner and see you, you probably would try to sit in the driveway like you've been there for a while.
I was there for a while. And I was
no, you wasn't. I just can't. I just pulled up behind you.
Yeah, voice crack. You took a minute though, because I was like, what's going on? I was trying to wait for you to get
them cars because I couldn't get out the parking lot.
I was trying to wait for you to get in front of me, actually.
We were trying to find a screen today for one of our windows.
Gosh.
What was look, Jamie, see, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to make sure we wasn't she said her and her mom.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Like we leave the same place. I'll be like, no, we know we go to the same place. I'll be trying to.
And then the kids, if we got the kids in the car, forget it. They want us to race.
They be like, all right, beat mommy or beat daddy, whoever's in what car. They be going off.
Yeah.
They be like, so I'll be like, so there's two different ways to get into. The only way you can really win or have any chance, especially because it's only one road to get here for the most part. But then when you get to the there's two ways. But there's two ways to get into the development. Unless we're going far. Unless we come far, and there's ways that we can race different ways, like we on the highway. Yeah. But when we get here, we can. There's two ways to get our development. So you got to try to figure out. But you got to come around that corner. If you get to the first entrance, you got to come fast.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So we're gonna get into our conversation. So
all right. So I introduce it, and then you can just talk because I ain't going.
Yeah. Because I don't know what we're talking about.
That's what I said. That's why I introduced it. Because you do know what we're talking about.
You it was love.
So on the topic there, I got a little popcorn kernel still.
Oh, okay.
Praise God. I still have popcorn left.
He still has popcorn.
I still have popcorn left.
You haven't been eating it as much.
Child, now I'm getting down though. I'm getting down. I've been eating a lot.
It doesn't seem like
it. Don't because I got more this year. So on there, is there? No. Okay. So on there, it says, "Do you love me more, or do you love me more?" Something like that, right? That's what I put in there as a topic. So, Dr. Weathersby, good to see you, sir.
Hi.
So what I put on there was, "Do you love me more?" Right? Do you love me more? And so, what I put in there was a question, something I thought about, right? And again, this doesn't have to relate to just marriage. This doesn't have to relate to dating. This doesn't have to relate. This could be on a friend level, sibling level. This could be on a lot of different levels, right?
Yeah.
And this could. So, sidebar 2 announcement. We're still doing our wedding getaway, a wedding get. Why am I saying wedding?
Marriage.
Our marriage getaway, wedding getaway, please. Our marriage getaway in June, okay? So please visit our website, desandya.com, all right? We're going away to the island. I can't tell you which one, all inclusive, okay?
Excited.
4 days.
Yeah,
we're still doing it.
This is the last.
Get it in, all right? We had this last month to be able to pay a deposit, so get it in, all right?
Deposit is for 2 people.
Yes, it's for 2 folk. Yes, Lord, $300 for 2 folk. That's your deposit. That's your initial deposit. So to go through this real quick. So to love, it says, do you love me more? Can get my mouth together. Here we go. And it's interesting because that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about love for the next 3 months at our church. But I begin to think about it on a personal level. And me and Passy, I will say things like, I'll call her. She'll say this once in the blue. Like, I don't think we say it as much. We just say, love you, But we used to always say, like, I'll say I love you, and then she'll say I love you more. Or she'll say I love you, and I'll say I love you more. And it's funny, and I begin to think about that. And it's interesting because the question is there a measuring stick of how love either operates, or does a person sometimes in a relationship really think that? Meaning that does the other, either brother, friend, husband, wife, do they really think that they love the other person more? And why is that? And I was having a conversation with my wife here because there is expressions of love that can become confusing, which I'm going to talk about in the sense of like how, if I feel like I love you, the way I express it to you may be different than the way you think I should express it, and then vice versa. And then at the same time, my idea of love may be different in that. So I might be thinking that I love you more because I might work 80 hours at my job to make sure I provide. What is my idea of love? And that's where I think conversations have to be had of what is the idea of love to an individual and a compromise. So go ahead. So is that really like a real thing? Like, is it a thing about loving more, or what do you feel about that so far?
I think honestly, I do think it can be both ways in a sense, only because we're not always in a, I don't say equal opportunity, but if I had to phrase it, I'll probably say equal opportunity relationships. Like, we're not always in those type of relationships. Sometimes we're in relationships, like, and it could be a friend, it can be a marriage, it could be like you said, siblings, whatever it is. We can be in relationships that like you actually might love that person more than they love you, because honestly,
sorry, I'm using your phone for something.
And then too, it's a lot of it, like, in saying that, it always goes back to what they were taught or what they know or how they saw love, right?
That's a good point.
Because we can be in a relationship and like somebody can have gotten, maybe abused or beat, or somebody, let's say this, let's not even go there. Let's say yelled at, like somebody just got yelled at.
Okay.
And they, maybe that's how their parents communicated, or that's how somebody they saw that was showing love communicated. Then they might think that, okay, because that was this, I can yell at you, but I love you, and this is how I show I'm loving you. You know what I mean? Just based off of what they've seen and what they've actually thought, okay, this is what love is to me, because everybody has a different expression of what love is. Mm-hmm. So I might think like, you yelling at me, like, that's not love. That's like more almost like hate or anger. Okay. But they might see it as, well, this is what, and I'm not saying this is, but I'm just saying as an example. But they may see yelling as,
you yell at me.
They may see yelling as, no. Yeah, I do. And you yell at me too. So they might see yelling as, this is what I saw and I love you. I'm yelling, I might be a little upset, or I'm yelling, but this is what I see as love. So it's just based on how you actually, what you think is love. So it's both ways. So it's the way that you actually grew up, or what you've seen, or where you define love as. And it's also, you can be in a relationship where somebody just really doesn't love you. Mm-hmm. Like, even not thinking about what they view love as, but they might just be in a relationship for something else, not trying to, actually love you. Like, where we see a lot of even in different movies and things, and how people sometimes they'll actually shun away from actually having to love. So like we might just have, sex or something like that. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to be real, but it might just be a sexual,
I mean, that happens in life. Just
relationship. It might be a sexual relationship, and it's not based on love, and neither one wants to provide love, or one does but the other one doesn't. So it could be, both ways in a sense. I'm gonna let you go. I do have more to say about week.
Okay. All right. Let me say this. Okay. Because the reason why I brought this conversation up is because as a man, right? Like, okay, I'll use the generation before me. The generation before me, like I'll say my father's generation, especially those that are above, like in their 60s, late 50s, 60s, 70s. I'm getting close to 40 now. So well, not close to, I'm there, I'm at the door. So those that are in their 60s and 70s, the idea of love as from a male perspective was going to work and working your tail off to provide a house, maybe a car, and making sure that the lights are on, right? So like that was love. Like love wasn't spoken, it was more demonstrated by work ethic. So me working for a living and then giving you, a shelter and car and taking care of the lights on and the bills. Like that was a lot of times, I'm not saying all, but a lot of times that was how the idea of what love meant. And then and then the idea for sometimes for some women was for a man, their idea of love was having food on the table, house clean, like that. Like it was like a generation of different things like that, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is because now, for example, there are certain men that still may have that idea. Nothing wrong with that idea. Like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I bought this, I bought that. And so their idea is this is what love is. So this is why I can say I love you so much, right? But you have to, and this is why it's interesting in any relationship, it has to be personalized around what the relationship entails. Meaning that if there's someone that I'm like, for example, I'm married to Pastia, love might not entail just like, okay, I've got you a house or I got you safety or all that. That's not it. The love might entail, do you talk to me? Right? Do you sit down? One of the things that she wants me to do often is if she's downstairs cooking, is that I sit down with her, even if I'm not cooking, and just have a conversation. To her, that's like an affectionate thing of not saying that accumulates all of our love, but that's part of like things that express love that she may not know. Okay, may not want to sit down there, but I'm sitting down there because this is the time where she wants to communicate, right? So that's a thing for her. But another thing is too, love is also developed by understanding one another. So like my expression of love might be, oh, I did this for you, but what you desire might be totally different, which doesn't make love, which begs the question, right? What's going on, Josh? Good to see you, Prophet. It begs the question of, hey, Dallas. It begs the question on the sense of talking about love, because I brought this up to my wife when we were talking. Is love like only what I desire from it, or is it something out of necessity? Meaning that like God dying on the cross for us, or not God, God sending Jesus to die on the cross for us, right? So that is God's expression of love, right? The Bible says, whom he loves, he chastises, right? So it's an expression of love. So, but some people won't even look at that as the idea of love. They'll look at it and say, oh, well, God didn't give me, $1 million or give me the job. So now, like, I don't think he loves me. Like, there's people that say things like they don't think God loves them because they're not getting what they wanted out of the relationship when God decided and dictated how love will go. So it's a tricky situation in a sense, because I think there has to be a compromise of, I'm going to show you my expression of love, as long as it ain't nothing like hurtful, demonstrative, nothing like that. I'm going to show you my expression of love, but also for me to show you that I love you, I also have to be able to compromise and do things that you love or things that show you love at the same time. from a human perspective. Does that make sense? All right, go ahead. You can go ahead and say something.
I mean, people have been saying kind of like the things that I was gonna say. One of them is just definitely like the demonstration, like you said, just dealing with
Prophet DeAndre. What's up, man? Love you too, man.
Hi. Actions speak louder than words, and they do, because people can say anything, but what are you doing? And that's with any relationship, to actually, show that you actually love. Because I can not tell you I love you, but the things that I do and that you see me do, that tells you that I love you. You know what I mean? And then also, like, one of the conversations we've had,
the Bishop Carolina,
is understanding your spouse or whoever you're in a relationship with, like understanding love languages. Like, I think that's important because of the fact that I wrote this in a post earlier, just regarding
that was good
comparison, right? Because a lot of times when we look at a different relationship, and it could be a friendship, it could be a spouse, it can be a son and daughter, mom and like whatever type of relationship, a lot of times when we look at different relationships, we can easily compare and think that, oh, because they're doing this is love, when the reality of it is, it's what you two communicate and what you two build. Because everybody's love language and what everybody likes, because we were created differently, right? We all have different things that we like or that works for us. So it's important for me, in whatever relationship I am in, to first be like, we have to, one of the most important things is being willing to communicate and be willing to be honest. If you don't like something, if something is not comfortable, you need to be honest with your partner, or be honest with your friend, or be honest with your mom, your dad, whoever it might be, and say, this really makes me feel uncomfortable. And I think even like for so long, I think people won't say that, because it's like, oh, I'm probably not supposed to say that, or what if they think this, or what? But it's so important that we're honest in our relationships, and we're willing to say, we're willing to say, well, this is not comfortable. I mean, even with, sexually in the bed, like whatever it might be. I know I'm getting into our marriage thing, but let me pull out of there. But there are different things that you have to be honest, because you shouldn't be causing yourself harm at the same time. Like, there's always a compromise, and there's always something, if you communicate, that you can do that works and benefits both of you. So you have to be willing to actually talk and actually find out, okay, what is it that you love? What is it that you want me to do? And not only just asking that question, but also taking those actions. Like, sometimes you might have to write them down and say, okay, this is what I'm going to start doing. And if it's 10 things, maybe start working on one, and then build to 2, so that you're actually doing something, because that's what the person likes, right? We can do things that we think they like, but that doesn't mean that it's doing anything for them, because that might not actually be what they like, or what they desire, or what makes them happy, or whatever it might be. So we have to be willing to actually listen to what it is they want, and be willing to do what it is they want us to do, rather than what we want to do. Because it's easy for us to sometimes say, when we're in a relationship, like, we think because we think this way, or we feel this way, that automatically the other person is going to like this, or think this way, or feel this way. And that's not how it works. You have to be open to hear from whoever it is, whether it be a friend, a spouse, mom, dad. You have to be open to hear what works for them. Because so often, especially in relationships, you see where people just think, oh, automatically, this works for me, so I think it's going to work for you. Or I've seen this work for this couple, so it's going to work for you. And it's like, no, that couple is that couple. That person is that person. What works for you two? What makes you two better? And close out everybody else. If somebody does something more than somebody, like, it doesn't matter. What makes you two happy, and also bettering yourself, and be willing, like you said, even dealing with God, like, even be willing to sacrifice. And that's one thing. Sacrifice. Sometimes look at, okay,
all right, here we go.
Sorry, the connection.
Yeah, I think, so there we go. Connection's back. So what I would say too, I know it's freezing.
Sorry.
I will say this too, like, it was something called Somebody, they showed a video. They've been doing all these highlight these tribute videos to
Dream
Dr.
has
Carlton
joined
Pearson,
us.
and he said something that was funny. He mentioned one time Carlton Pearson they showed a video of him like when he was talking about when I get married. This when he was younger. He's like, when I get married, he was like he was like, man, my spouse will have to deal with me because I'm in love with me. You know, like he's like everything because he's like everything in my life is about me because it's only me. He's like, but then when I get married, he's like, I gotta sacrifice the me for the we. He was like, but the me still gonna be in it, so she's gonna have to deal with the me too while we in the we. Like, you know what I mean? And it was funny how the way he was talking about it. But I think that a lot of times when we talk about love, like again, my idea of love. Let me go back to a point. I think it's important that you have to first, in order to be able to love anybody or to love anything, you have to first really love yourself, right? Because even like you were talking about how like when you feel uncomfortable in certain situations or, you know, it could be a friendship and you really can't express certain things or you think you're friends and all that, then that goes back to do you really love yourself?
Right.
Because if you don't really love yourself, it's hard for you to express whatever you may be feeling or this, that, and the third. But again, I think that when you love yourself, right, and you're able to express love to others, but also when you love yourself, like in the real way of loving yourself. I'm not talking about loving yourself like self-centered, like, you know, idolatry within yourself and you just so self-centered, like me, ooh, like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the ability to love yourself, love who God made you to be, love everything about what you're, you know, what you're, you know, what God made you to be, okay? And being comfortable with that, it will allow you to want to not just express love, but also to as well, it will allow you to be able to hear what a person will desire and you will begin to be in their shoes and begin to feel what they feel because now you'll be like, okay, because I love myself, I'm going to think about how to love the person that I'm in a relationship with, if it's a friend, if it's a brother, because now I'm conscious of that person. Because if you're not conscious of love within yourself, you won't be conscious of loving others. You won't be conscious of thinking about others when it comes to love, right? And so like there's times where I understand like the way you want love or just a way like a friend of mine may look at love or any of my friends that I'm close with, like they have an idea of what like love is to them compared to love is to me from a friendship standpoint, right? And I get that. Like I'm cool with that. Like some of my friends, you know, they're like, yo, I ain't talked to you and you ain't called me. Like, okay, cool. Like that's because that's their expression. Like their expression is, yo, we call to check on each other, right? And then there's some friends I have, I ain't called and checked on in 6 months, right? Or even just I'm like, for example, I love my college roommate, right? I'm just using him as an example. I don't know why I'm thinking about him, but I use him as an example. We talk so sparingly, but I know like we have love for one another. Now, maybe because we had to live with each other for 3 years and stuff like that, but we know like we would do anything for one another, even though we don't talk as like that. You know what I'm saying? But we have an understanding. That's how we operate. And our love for each other is not distant because we understand how our flow is compared to, man, my flow, maybe another friend. You know what I mean? Which that's a whole nother conversation about friendships because everybody thinks every friendship has to be the same. Even if every friendship does not have to be the same, you could be a friend with one person, you know, and share this, just like all the disciples were disciples. They were categorized in level of what they were, what he could talk to them about and where they flow from. But again, you know, every friendship don't have to be the same, every relationship don't have to be the same, and the way we express love doesn't have to be the same by the way we think love has to be expressed. Like I will express my love. I love the people on here, right? But I love Dreamy, praise the Lord, right? But my expression of love to you doesn't have to be the same way my expression of love is to Dreamy. Deacon. What up, Robert?
Hey.
So I think that is important because again, we create this unbalance when we're talking about, you know, who loves who more to a degree if there's not a real healthy balance. And the way that healthy balance is proper is having understanding of one another and understanding like how you're supposed to be loved and how you're supposed to love the other person. Does that make sense? Right. There are people that will say love you and they don't really like love you. They just love you with the love of like God church lingo. Right. It's just, but it's, you know, I don't know. That's a whole nother lesson. I don't know why I'm going into that. I'm talking just off the rocker here, but you go ahead, continue on.
Well, that's that is an interesting actually thought, because of the fact that, like, honestly, there have been people that I loved.
Don't go too far out here now.
Okay, let me reel back in.
Don't lose your
but
mind.
But it's, I mean, that's kind of like you love them because of God. Like,
yeah,
God allows you to love. Like, there's some people that did things that I'm like, and myself, I don't feel like I love them, but it's almost like God.
He says to love your enemies.
Cause you, like, despite of how you feel or what they did, like, you still are like, okay, I love them. But it's like you said, it's not the same way I love other people, because it's just God causing me to love them.
Correct.
Like, it's just because I believe in God and I believe the Bible. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna love, I'm gonna love, but outside of that, like, I can't.
No, I understand what you're saying.
So I mean, that is an interesting thought. Like, when people say love you with the, it's like, I still love you, but not like that. And I still know. So it's almost like you're conscious of, okay, this, that, and other. But even though this happened, I'm still going to choose, okay, still, but we're going to be love you from a distance, okay?
Right. There's some people I love from a distance.
Right.
Like, I'll just use for example, like I said, my college roommate. We don't love from a distance. We love even though we don't talk all the time.
Right.
But love you from a distance mean that I'm not going to allow you to intertwine that place of my life anymore. Right. That's sometimes there's people that you be like, I love you, but you won't occupy that space because. And it don't mean that you might love me more. Like, it's just that, okay, we're not in that space anymore.
We just want to be wise.
Yes. Wisdom. Characteristic.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this. We have 40 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to understand, again, what the love means to the person. Like, what does love mean to them?
Yeah.
So there's an understanding of knowing what love means to them, explaining what love means to you. That's what I think is important. There's certain things that what I believe love means to me, and there's certain things that I need Pastor Yacht to explain to me what love means to her. And so there's a way of how I think I should love her, and there's a way she desires me to love her. Let me say that again. There's a way I think I should love her, and there's a way that she desires me to love her. And so what I have to do is I have to find the mixture of still trying to love her the way, the way I'm supposed to, but also loving her the way that she desires to be loved. All right. What up, Shane? Yep. What's going on, man? Hope all is well with you, bro. So I think that is important. I think that is needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely necessary to communicate with, and definitely necessary to like, not be afraid to share. This is what, when you do this, maybe you think. That's why I think conversation is so important, because some people, like, they wound up in these situations and ready to get a divorce, but they never had the conversation to say, like you said, somebody might be working or doing this, that, and other, and they're thinking, oh, this is how I'm showing, I'm doing this, that, and other. She has to know that I love her, or he has to know that I love him because I'm doing this, that, and the other, rather than actually, and then the other person is like, they're not doing what I don't feel love, this, that, and the other. You never had that conversation. So you both are at different places, rather than, okay, sitting down, having a conversation, and be willing to listen. Because sometimes we have conversations even in relationships, and because we know the person, or we hear the person, or we feel like we know what they're going to say, or we have a tendency to assume because of the person. Sometimes we hear through a certain lens instead of actually hearing what they're saying. So we'll hear from a place of where they used to be, or how you think they felt, or how you feel they should feel, instead of actually hearing from, okay, let me actually listen, and let me actually take into consideration what they're saying, and let me try to work on those areas. Anything like that's the only
parts up.
So the thing just froze again. That's why I looked at. No, it just froze and then it came back on. Yeah.
I'll say this too. Like, even outside of like marriage, like, I use example because I just saw Shane come there. So, like, on a friendship level, right? So like Apostle Jordan is like, we're friends, right? So if Jordan says to me, like, Jordan, I know one of the things that Jordan always loves, Like Jordan be like, yo, bro, come to my, he like, we always want to make sure we're fellowship and supporting each other's like conferences, for an example, right? Mm-hmm. But one of the things like me and like, I just use Jordan example because I just saw Shane come. My thing is with Jordan is Jordan knows my life, right? So there's times I tell Jordan like, look, man, bro, I got 4 kids, I got a wife, I got soccer games, I got family. So like, I'm going to do my best to make it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like he understands that, and I've set that precedent. So like, don't expect like I'm gonna try to make it see. But for him, I'll be like, yo, come on, you come because you single. You know what I mean? Like there's different like so there's a different idea around our thinking, right? But that don't mean I don't love him because I don't come. Like we've established our relationship, understanding like how my life is lived, how your life is lived is totally different. It doesn't change our friendship, and it takes maturity to understand that for a lot of people because I'm like, you can't call me, but like. We have relationship, and that doesn't mean I don't love you because I don't come. You see what I'm saying? But that's how we show forth our love to each other. But he understands the dynamics of my life. Am I making sense on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that again, that goes back to what you talked about before: communication, conversation, talks, knowing about one another. Because I think love is built over time as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think too, like you said, having that understanding,
right.
Being willing to be, to understand and say, okay, well, actually taking yourself and putting yourself in their shoes sometimes. Like sometimes you have to do that. Like, it's not because sometimes, I mean, different thoughts come because of different things that we've been through. So if somebody starts doing certain things, sometimes we can take that the wrong way and say, oh, you know what? They're not my friend because they're not doing this, that, and the other. Where the thing is, like sometimes you have to just take into consideration, like you said, like somebody's life or what they might have been, whatever it might be, and say, you know what, it's not that they don't love. This is just, maybe because of this, and that's all a part of that whole conversation, communication.
Yeah.
Actually understanding what's going on, because sometimes we might think, oh, they might be avoiding me, where they might have been like having to do overtime at their job and they just can't get back to you or can't go out with you or whatever, and sometimes we just assume, that it's this and the other. And the reality of it is you have to be willing to actually have a conversation, especially if something that's continually coming in your mind, and just say, you know what, I just want to talk to you about something. I figured, it might not be, it might not be a lot, but if you're constantly thinking about it, it's something probably that you need to have a conversation about.
Mr. Dave's good to see you there, sir.
Hi.
All right, so I think we're done. I ain't got nothing else unless you got anything else.
No.
All right, y'all.
Communication.
If you want to catch the beginning of our conversation about Mike Todd, you catch that on the beginning. Nonsense. People just want to stop for no reason.
And please, if you please comment, y'all. If you watch, I know some people watching the replays and things and commenting. So if you comment, let me know about the racing situation. I asked, like, as a spouse, or if it's a friends, siblings, whatever it might be. Do you guys race each other to get to the house if y'all both were somewhere and y'all are on your way to the house? So for instance, like we went to the store today and we both had to come back. Sometimes we race each other to kind of get to the house, especially with the, what's that?
You hit Dream, you hit me.
No, I said, what's that? Why you do like that?
No, just because.
You being extra?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I just want to hear if anybody else does. I know Jamelyn, you say y'all do. I just think that's so funny. Like you actually racing to get to the house. But yes, leave your comments, let us know. And that's it.
All right.
Oh, Rob does too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Sorry, you've got to get Dynasty your clothes.
Oh no, I'm gonna just take them tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for comments, especially everybody that was commenting, getting involved. We appreciate that. And as always, if you have any topics, questions that you want us to talk about, or things you might want us to discuss, you can email us as well at I think it's desandya@gmail.com.
And also, if you want to go to our marriage
message us.
Getaway, email us desandya@gmail.com too as well. Again, marriage getaway is in June. What's the dates again? Pull up our website. desandya.com. June the 24th, right?
I'm sorry. So our email is desandyawiggins@gmail.com. Okay. So desandyawiggins@gmail.com.
And the website is our website is desandya.com.
Yes, right? desandya.com.
And then what's the date for the thing again too?
You could message us through that too. It's June 20.
Get your dates.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up real fast so I don't be lying.
Don't be lying.
Okay. Peanut Gallery.
It's not Peanut Gallery. I'm sitting right here with you.
Okay.
Did you put the right one in?
No, I forgot the D.
I said it was coming up for you.
No.
Okay. What did it say?
June 27th to July 1st, 2024. That's what I said.
Get your dates right.
Okay.
June 27th. You said June 24th. You kept saying
June 24th. You said June 24th. Steve.
You said it.
Okay.
Woman of God, you said it.
June 27th to July 1st. Okay. The registration the deposit is $300, which is due by the end of this month. If you want to go, it's deposit of $300 for 2 people. And right now, the entire getaway, which is all inclusive, is $2,999.98. It's gonna go up.
We're saying everything in single digits.
Go ahead and register. Okay, register.
We're not going around the corner either. We're not going to Poconos.
Destination fun.
Oh God, listen.
All right,
we talking $2,999. What is that?
Numbers.
You funny.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
All right, look, if you're near the area too as well, 740 Chestnut Street in Camden, New Jersey tomorrow. I have a word from the Lord. It's going to be good. All my messages this month is all like a Christmas, all Christmas songs or Christmas sayings. So my message tomorrow is, baby, it's cold outside.
Baby, it's cold. Are you gonna play the song?
Nope, I ain't seen it.
Oh, Dream is praying, so we have to pause. But if y'all need to get off, we understand. Have a great night.
Talk loud. Talk.
She had her hand on you praying.
No, she not. She
was doing like this.
She's whispering. Praying. She's trying to ask me something. What are you asking me? Yes, you can. That's it. All right. Tell everybody bye.
Tell everybody bye, Dream.
Bye.
They can't see you. You're just dancing in the camera. Now you're acting like you're shy.
Bye.
Look at the camera. She asked me if she have a pink drink from Starbucks tomorrow.
All right. Bye. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for getting on again.
Spoiled. All right, y'all. See y'all. Have a good night.